Okay. Chumash and Rashi, the Torah portion of the week. We continue with the fourth reading in Parshas Shoftim. We are in Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 18, verse number 6. Okay, there we have it in front of us. All right. So, Kisa Yavoy Halevi, when the Levite will come. So Rashi is going to explain, does this mean, it says Levite, but does it mean from the tribe of Levi, which would be the Kohen perhaps? Or does it mean, we'll see in a moment. Okay. So, but I'm just going to translate. When the Levite Achad She'arecha, from one of your gates is literally all of the land of Israel, Ashehu Gar Sham, that which he lives there, above, and he's coming with any desire of his soul, Elamakum, Asher Yivchar, to the place, Asher that Yivchar. What's going on over here? What does it mean? Kiyavay Alevi. So Rashi says, when the Levite will come, Yochel, I might think, but Ben Levi, that the verse is definitely speaking about the Levite, because usually it would say, if it's referring to the Kohen, right, that comes from the tribe of Levi, then it would say Kohen Levi, Kohen Levi a Kohen, right? But here it does. It only says Levi. So Talmud Lema, the Torah tells others Vishares, because he will minister. Yatsu Levim, that excludes the Levites, She'ein Reim Lashirus, because they're not eligible for ministering. They don't do the actual divine service. I mean, they're accompanying the divine service, but they're not doing the divine service. And we'll see in the next verse, the verse continues, V'sheris b'shem Hashem, and they're serving in the name of God, right? Then why would it use the term Levi? Okay, continuing in Rashi, so this next Rashi is continuing with the next verse that says he will come he comes with any desire of his soul, the Kohen, then he shall minister. Right. So what's the connection? What do you mean he's coming with any desire of his soul to minister? Isn't the doing the job as a Kohen, the divine duty? What does that mean exactly? So this comes to teach us, this teaches a Kohen Shabbat, mockery of them when he may come and offer, officiate, and offerings that he brings as his own voluntary pledge or his own obligation. Let's say he took upon himself that he is, I'm bringing a voluntary peace offering, and so on. And it's his, right? Not someone else that he's ministering for on behalf of an Israelite, right? So that's what the verse is coming to speak about, that he's coming for anything of his desire, And when is this? He's coming that it's not in his watch. There were 24 watches that were divided between the Kohanim, the priests, and let's say it wasn't his watch, and he wanted to bring for whatever reason, then he's able to bring it, and he's able to bring it and do the service for his own offering. That's the first explanation. Davar acher, alternative explanation, right? Oidly made. This also teaches al Kohanim about the Kohanim haboim laregel that come to the festival in Jerusalem. Shemakrivim that they bring offerings but mishmar in the watch, ba'avdim and then perform the service. Offerings that come because of the festival, like the musaf of the festival, even though it's not their watch. So it's coming to teach another thing. And that is not of their own offerings, but it's holiday time. And holiday, remember the three festivals, Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot. They are a time that's called a regel, that means a festival. The regel means foot, so they would travel, primarily by foot, but however it was that they came. And they would celebrate. Well, what if it wasn't their watch? So this verse is coming to say that anything that is coming because of the holiday, even if it's not your watch, but you are a Kohen, they're celebrating the holiday, you get to participate in the musaf, which is the additional offering, which means the additional over and above the daily offering, right? That is a holiday offering that they get to participate and have a portion of that, even though it's not their watch. That's what it means to say that anything of their soul's desire, that in the place of God will choose, that it will be something that they will minister, that they will, in other words, participate in, even though it's not their watch. Because if it was their watch, then the verse didn't have to tell us that, right? Obviously, they get to participate. Okay, next verse number 7. And he will minister B'Shem Hashem Elokav, in the name of Hashem, his God, Kechol Echav, like all of his brothers Levim, of the Levites, Ha'imdim Sham, that are standing there, Lifnei Hashem, before God. Okay, no Rashi there. Next. Chelik kechelik, portion for portion, like a portion, is literally. Echelu, they shall eat. Levad, except mikorav al ha'aves, on that which was transacted by their forebearers. Okay, let's see what that means. Portion for portion they shall eat. What does that mean? What is that statement saying? Malamed, this comes to teach us. Shecholkin, that they divide ba'ires, that they divide the hides of the offerings. Of a basar, se'irei chatas, and of the meat of the he-goat of the sin offering that's brought on the holidays and the festivals. Okay. Well, I don't know why that's pointed out exactly. Let's continue, okay? So what he's saying is that even if they're not officiating in that um, in that particular watch, right? In the fixed schedule, they're not part of that schedule, but it's holiday time, so they get a portion of the hide and of the sin offering. Yachol. So you might think that they take a share, even things that are not part of the festival, going to meet him, like the daily offering, Musafi Shabbos, or the Musaf of Shabbos, on the Nidanim and Dovas, or the personal vows and free will offerings that are brought that are unrelated to the festival by others, right? They're not the Kohen, like regular Israelite. Talmud Leimar, but the verse is Levad mimkarev shel al ha'avos, except for that transaction by the forefathers. The end of the verse. Chutz v'mashem machrei ha'avos, that which the forefathers sold, they made David and Shmuel in the days of King David and Prophet Samuel. Shenikvu Mishmaris, that they fixed the watches, and they sold to each other, saying, Tol Ata Shabbatcha, you take your week, Vani Atol Shabbatai, and I will take my week. So this is except for, in other words, everybody got their divided. They divided in times of King David. The watches. Till then, I don't know how they did it. In the So maybe it was done differently. I'm not certain. But the Torah here is coming and saying, in other words, a transaction, because I don't know what it means by a transaction, but I guess it was some form of transaction that every group of Kohanim got their mandated time period, their week of service, right? Um, I think it was twice a year. And as a result, that's what it means. So it means, except for that which was mandated, which would refer to everything that's not related to the holidays, but was um, fixed. That was fixed, like like daily offering, um, personal offerings that are not part of the holiday, and so on. Still not 100% clear on that, because where do you get festivals exactly, and why is that exactly those things? Right. Okay, let's continue. Number 9. Ki ata ba el haaretz, because you are coming to the land, asher Hashem Elokecha, that Hashem, your God, Neisen Lach, is giving to you. Lo silmad lases, do not learn to do k'toya b'asa goyim ha'hem, like the abomination of those nations. Rashi in number 9. So lo silmad lases, don't learn to act of alata lomei. But do learn lahavin alayrits in order that you can understand and instruct. Kalaimar, in other words, lahavin by saying you have to understand the ways of the people around you, right? Kamaim will call them how decadent they are. Or lahayris of in order you can instruct your children. Don't do such and such. Because this is the ritual of the nations. In other words, you got to learn about your iPhone and or any smartphone in order that you can instruct your children properly on how to properly deal with it. You know, that, I'm just giving an example, modern day example, right? As don't learn from them and how to be like them, to be addicted to your phone, right? But do learn on how to so here it means like that you need to understand the culture of the people around you so you can instruct your children about the decadent ways of if it whatever is decadent about that culture. That's what it means. Don't learn in order to do, but learn in order to to teach. Gotta learn, gotta know, which is very interesting. Others, yeah. Do not, so look, do not find yourself that you pass your son or your daughter in fire. That was one of the forms of idolatry. Kaisim, someone who practices divination. Someone who reads omens or is a sorcerer. Rashi. So he gives us now the definition of all these things. Someone who causes his son or daughter to pass through fire. He avodas hamelech. This is the worship of what's called melech. They make a bonfire, mikan and mikan, on both sides. And they cause their children to pass between two bonfires. That's their initiation, if you will. You know. Okay, continuing. One who practices divination. Eza Kasim, what is a diviner? Eches is makle. He holds his staff, and says to it, Ime shall I go? Ime shall I not go? Right? He's talking to his staff. Shall I go? Shall I not go? Right? A nation who asks its stick, makle yagiloi, and the staff would tell him. Ma'ainin, what's a ma'ainin? Rabbi Akiva says, nice. These are people who give seasons. Sha'imrim, ayin plainis, such and such a season. Yafal is a propitious time to begin. They say means those who are illusionists. Okay, debate on what that means. Menachesh, someone who reads omens. So, if the bread fell from his mouth, for giving an example over here, right? Or a deer blocked him on the road, the other staff fell from his hand, says, oh, no, this is not a day to do this. Right, because of the omen that happened. Okay. 11. Chayver chaver, an animal charmer. The shoyel oiv, one that. Let's see, Rashi and 11. Chayver chaver, an animal charmer, literally means one who groups together. Shemitzaref nechashim, he gathers snakes, or akravim, or scorpions, or sharchayas, or any other type of beast, kind of thing. Lemokam to in one place for the purpose of divination. Okay, Yijaini. Machnis etzem chayesh sheshma yadua l'tichpi. So the practitioner takes a bone of an animal whose name is Yidaya, and he puts into his mouth and the bone speaks. Al Yidei machshefas through witchcraft. Someone can tell us today's kigayin. Someone raises the dead through his male organ. Someone who asks questions of a skull. All right. Whoa. Don't try this, folks. Not a good idea. Verse 12. Hashem, why should you do this? Because it's an abomination to God. All the people that do this will be and because of these abominations, Hashem of Hashem your God, that these are abominations. Hashem is banishing the nations before you. Tamim tiyem Hashem you shall be tamim, wholehearted, sincere with Hashem your God. Right, that was the Torah studies from this week. Rashi in 12. All those that do this, it doesn't say those who do all of these. but rather it says Kol Oisela, all who do these, Afila Achas Mem, even one of them. In other words, don't think it means you know, you have to do all of these, that it's an abomination. It's just any one of these. All right, that's the terminology. Tamim Tia you shall be wholehearted, sincere with Hashem your God. Between us, go with him wholeheartedly, sincerely. Look ahead to him and trust in him. Don't delve into the future. Ella, but rather, anything that comes to you, accept wholeheartedly, sincerely. Then you will be with him, with God, and his portion. Wow. Second. All right. Okay, folks. Shem. All right. We'll see you in a